Hey everybody, welcome in. So in this video I want to go through the process of creating the V-slide plate in Autocad, and this might be the most frustrating drawing I've ever come across in this book. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go up to New, and I'm going to we're going to do this in decimal. I'm going to go to my layer properties. Let's start off, if I can move this over to my other screen. All right, there we go. I'm going to create a new layer. Just call this object. I'm going to change this. Let's keep it white or black. It says white, but it's black. And I'm going to go change my line weight to 0.3. And what else do I need? I think we're good there. I don't need any other layers right now. I'm going to double left click to make my object layer my current layer. Hit the X. I'm going to turn on my little line weight thingy. So what I want to do is I'm going to start off by drawing some circles. So I'm going to draw circle, center radius, just kind of pick a spot. And this one is going to have a radius of 0.875. Press enter. I'm going to get rid of my grid because that annoys me. Alright, so then what I want to do is I am going to draw some more circles. Center radius. I have one over here. One over here. I just kind of drew some random sizes here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to my parametric tab, and where you see dimensional here, I'm going to click on the radius constraint. I'm going to select the circle here, left click. So that radius is, I put that radius in what I want. So that's 0.875. That one's good. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. This one I just kind of randomly drew that circle. So when I left click, I'm going to need to type in what radius do I want this one to be. So this is going to be 0.625. Left click. Notice that it automatically changes the size that I need. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. So click the radius. Select my circle. I'm going to left click. Now the cool thing about this is I want this circle to be the same radius as this. So for this dimension, I'm just going to click this dimension and it makes it the same. Whatever that is, it makes this the same. So I'm going to press enter. No, I'm going to left click to get out of it. Yeah. So notice that radius 3 is the same as radius 2. So these two are going to be the same. And then what I need to do now is I'm going to put some dimensions on here. So let's do linear. And I'm going to go from the center. I'm going to type, just to be safe, I'm going to type in CEN, enter. Select the circle. Type in CEN, enter. Click the circle. So basically that's dimension from the center of one circle to the center of the other, right? And just left click to place your dimension. And this dimension needs to be 1.375. 1.375. Left click, it automatically moves it over the distance that I required it to be. Do the same thing, so linear. I'm going to type in CEN for center of this circle. CEN, this circle. Drag it up. So again, I can just click this dimension, left click, and it moves that where it needs to be. And then now what I need to do is I am going to, under where it says linear, I'm going to click that down arrow. I'm going to go to vertical. So again, I'm going to type in CEN click the circle, CN, the circle. So I've done the math on this. The book doesn't tell you what that is, but this distance is 2.125. Left click. Now I need these to be kind of lined up, so I think what I'll do is I'll just dimension this one as well. So let's do another vertical dimension. The center of this circle, the center of this circle. Drag it out. I could click this dimension here. Left click, now those are even. So I have the circles, the diameters that I want, or the radiuses that I want, whichever one you want to use. And then I have the distance apart those are. So by constraining those, it kind of locks those in, which is kind of helpful. All right, so here comes the tricky part. So there's like one really needy dimension that would help us out tremendously in this, but they don't tell us what that is. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to create another circle by radius. Let me go back to my home tab here. Circle radius, just kind of somewhere over to the side. I'm going to draw a circle with a radius of 0.875. Press enter. And then what I'm going to do is go back to my parametric. I'm going to hit the dimensional radius, select the circle. Now, even though I told it what that radius is, I need to kind of parametrically constrain it to be that radius. I don't know if that makes sense, but so this radius is going to be, it's already what I want it to be, so 0.875, that's good. And then I know that I'm going to, under vertical here, I'm going to go back to linear, or I can do horizontal. I'm going to do center, CN of this circle to the center of this circle, and I want that distance to be, what is that, 2.250. So let me change this 2.250. So yeah, the distance, they don't tell you, okay, what is it from the center of the circle to the center of that in the Y direction. That would be super helpful. They don't tell you that, but when we have these constraints on here, we can kind of figure out, hopefully, what that's going to be. So the trick is, how do we go about doing that? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my home. I'm just going to, not my home, but the home tab. I'm already at my home. I'm going to click on line. I'm just going to draw a random line, like from here, kind of angle it over, and make sure make sure your ortho mode isn't turned on, so you can draw kind of an angled line. And then right click, hit OK or hit enter. Now what I want to do is I am going to go back to my parametric. I'm going to select my tangent constraint. I think I'm going to select the circle first. It does kind of matter which one. So I think I'm going to select the circle first, somewhere here. Select the line. Yeah, so then the line moves to the circle. I'm at the tangent constraint again. Let's select the circle, select the line. Right, so the line moves to the circle. So that's kind of, I know that that line is tangent to both of those circles. I still don't know the height of this thing, but what I want to do now is I am going to go back to my home. I want to offset, where are we at? Offset. And that distance is going to be 1.625. Press enter. I want to offset this line to the left. Hit the escape key. And then what I want to do is go back to my parametric. I want to click on the tangent constraint. I think I want to pick the circle first and then this line. Oh yeah, like that moves it over, so it makes those tangent. Now what I want to do is I want to click on my aligned in my dimensional panel here, click aligned, go down to where you see two lines. I'm gonna click that. I want to click these two lines, 1, 2, and then for that distance, the book is saying that needs to be 1.625. 1.625. So now notice it moves it where it should be. And we have all these other constraints satisfied. So what I need to do now is go back to home, draw a line. I'm just going to draw kind of a random line here. Go back to parametric. I'm going to click on my tangent constraint, click the circle, click this line, and then I need to go to my perpendicular constraints, select this line, select this line, and I think we've kind of got it. Everything's kind of where it needs to be. I'm going to go to the Home tab, click on Trim. So this part comes around. It's kind of squared off here. That part gets trimmed. This part, that part. Let's see, I don't need this. Hit the escape. I'm going to erase this, erase this. There's going to be a line from the quadrant, so I'm typing QUAD, enter the quadrant of this circle to QUAD, enter that circle, and then I just kind of mirror this part over to the other side, so I can go to mirror, select this line, this curve, this line. I think that's got us. Press enter. The center, or the mirror part, the mirror point, I'm gonna do it around the center of this circle. And then I need to turn on my objects, or my ortho mode, so I can drag it straight up. Do I want to erase source objects? No. Hit the escape key. I'm going to trim out. I don't need that. I don't need that. That. So there is our V-slide plate. So I hope that helped, and I'll add the dimensions maybe in another video. All right, peace.